Well, the St. John's Country Day Spartans are on their way to Fort Myers once again. This is now 3 of the last 4 years that they've gone to the Final Four, and what a pleasure it is to welcome in the head coach of the Spartans, Tom Lucas. George Gilson joins us as well. George, you just had a big walk-off the other night to put your team in the Final Four. First of all, how did that feel, and what was that experience like for you hitting that walk-off bomb?
It felt amazing. I mean, I was super ecstatic for myself, but I was also ecstatic to see how excited my teammates were running on the field and seeing them jump up and down, even seeing the coaches excited. I mean, that's a big moment for the team to head back to the Final Four, especially against a good team like NFC. And it was just an awesome moment to experience.
George, what was the pitch? What did you see out there? Did you certainly got what you wanted there? Tell me about the pitch.
I mean, it was a fastball. He just left it right there. I mean, he struggled, just walked Colt. Colt worked a good at bat before. So I think he was just trying to get a strike in there so he didn't walk me again to have first and second no outs and then threw it right there and just let the barrel hit it.
Your celebration afterwards, I mean, you knew you had that one, right? You knew you
Yeah.
got that one.
As soon as it came off the bat, I saw it go up and I was like, yeah, that's gone.
Coach, what about you? Well, when you saw it, you knew it was gone too, right?
Yeah, no, it's no doubt. I mean, we're known for not having the biggest park in the area, and the wind was blowing out 20 miles an hour. But his ball probably gets out of the Jumbo Shrimp Stadium. I mean, it's one of the farthest balls we've had hit at our park.
What was that moment like for you, Coach? One of your guys, a senior, hits a walk-off homer to send you to the Final Four.
Yeah, I mean, just the whole inning, because we were tied going to the seventh, and they hit a home run to start the seventh inning. So, they came to play, and so we're down, and they had hit 5 home runs in the game. They had 6 hits, and they had hit 5 home runs, and we had hit zero. And so I kind of looked to the coaching staff, and I said, "Man, we've got 1, 2, 3 coming up. They're all seniors." I said, "We're due for somebody to get a hold of one. We need to get somebody on base."
Right.
And that was my thought process: is get one guy on base, and one of these guys we're bound. And so I think I went to almost every guy individually and just told them, relax, breathe, see the ball up, and hit it hard. And that was kind of the message: is not to chase. We had kind of given in a few times, but just happy for the guys. I mean, when he hit that, I think that's probably the most excited I've been as a coach. Me and one of my assistant coaches, they got pictures of us, and we're doing like the ring around the rosy together and stuff like that as they're rounding the bases. So you're really happy, because I've been on the other end where you get some seniors that work really hard, and then they get the disappointment of not winning that game and going to the Final Four. And so you're just happy as a head coach. You're almost like that father figure, is to see those seniors achieve that goal that they set, so long ago.
And that's a big statement from you, a 10th year head coach. You've been in the Final Four. This is now 3 of the last 4 years to say that that's the most excited you've been as a coach. Expound on that, because that's a big statement there.
Yeah, because I mean, we were really challenged. I mean, a lot of these times, when we've won, we've had big leads. We've been up comfortably, things like that. And this wasn't that type of game. I mean, they scored 2 in the first, and then we answered with 4, and then they turned around and answered with 2 in the second, and it was just one of those slugfests back and forth. And I think I have that team that, I mean, they kept saying it, like when they would come off the field, is we like to be punched. Let's punch back. And it's, are they going to respond? This, because the NFC was not going away. They threw a punch in the seventh, and a lot of teams at that point will press, and it's just not our night. And just ecstatic for the guys to be able to win it, and then to do it in a walk-off fashion. I mean, that's, I've said it probably 2 or 3 times to George, like, to play your last home game at Spartan Field, hit a walk-off 2-run bomb, to send your team to the Final Four. He'll remember that for the rest of his life. And I haven't added this, I'll remember it for the rest of my life as well.
I've thought that all week, and I didn't even hit the home run.
Right.
It's pretty crazy. George, if you had to put into words, maybe one word, how would you describe that feeling, that moment of hitting that walk-off home run?
Exciting. I mean, going in the inning, you're down 5-6. And I mean, I'm sitting at first base after Colt gives up the home run. And I go up to him on the mound after he gives it up. I'm like, well, now you get to go up and you get to do it again, because you got 1, 2, 3, me, Kyle, Colt, and me. And the inning before, Kyle was telling me, he's like, we got the top of the lineup and there's no pressure here. Nothing to scare us about. I mean, we've been tested. We've gone 11 and 14 innings this year. at our ballpark. And that's the second time Kyle's gone up there and first pitch hit a home run to tie the game back up. And then I tell Colt, just relax when he's up to the plate and just like see the pitch. And then he works a walk. I mean, on some competitive pitches too. I mean, he had really great takes. I mean, probably ball down, ball away on some of the pitches, especially the really good curve on the pitcher, and then go up there and then do it for the team. It was extremely exciting to see.
George, what is this group of seniors like? You just mentioned a couple of guys there, Kyle and Colt. What is this group of seniors like at St. John's?
I mean, I've been with Kyle, Cole. I mean, I've been with pretty much all the seniors for my whole life playing baseball under Coach Tom. So, I mean, we're extremely close. And I mean, I'd say we're a great group. I think we have some really good leaders. I mean, great chemistry all together. And then our goal is this year is just to let the kids under us see like us as role models and try to like follow us in our footsteps and try to become better people through baseball and just in life.
Coach, before we get to the Final Four on Monday, tell me about this group of seniors and obviously George is part of that group. It seems like a special group that you have there.
Yeah, I mean, I would describe they have got a lot of grit, and so they're a very tough-minded team. You know, sometimes they push me to my limits as a coach because they have some strong will, but they are not afraid of a fight, and that's the part of it that you kind of enjoy as a coach. Because sometimes you get those teams and they're loaded with the ultra talented players, but they only play well when it goes well. These guys seem to respond. I mean, we have been trailing in the last three games in the first inning. I mean, everybody has come out and taken a lead on us, and we've kind of embraced that. Like we said it at one of the games we went to, is we really want our opponent to land that punch. You know, we don't want them just to kneel down in the corner. We want to be punched and then take it from them. And they've embraced that. Is they have responded every time the other team has landed a jab. We try to throw a haymaker of our own to put them down.
You guys are leaving Sunday from Jacksonville area to Fort Myers for the Final Four. This is your third in the last 4 years. Northside Christian on Monday morning at 10 o'clock. What do you know about them?
Very good team. I mean, when you get to the Final Four, I mean, everybody's going to be good. I mean, this team has been tested. They beat IMG Academy, so they have seen some really good teams. They played another one of the Final Four teams that's going to be down there. So they're well balanced. They've got a really fantastic pitcher on the mound that's an Auburn commit. That's a high velo guy. When you get to this level, the team that plays the closest to normal and plays well is going to win. And that's what I tell them is I don't need you to be Superman. I just need you to play as close to what is normal for you. And I like my chances. I mean, I think lineup wise, we've got probably one of the most intimidating lineups in high school baseball. We just need to play a clean game, not a perfect game. You know, we just need to play our normal type of game. And I like our chances.
George, as a player, how do you get ready for the Final Four? Do you go and, hey, let's see if this guy's got a perfect game page, and maybe look at some of his numbers? How do you prepare for a Final Four as a player?
You just got to go watch some of his film, see his pitches, like see his tendencies and like what pitches he likes throwing, what counts, like where his misses are and stuff like that. But I mean, majority it's just looking at his film and making sure that you understand how he's going to want to pitch certain hitters, like power hitters or guys who are more contact, or lefties and righties, and see what pitches he favors and what counts or on what days, depending on how on he is or not.
Coach, I mean, this trip has been pretty familiar to you guys, now making the third time in the last 4 years. What have you learned about these experiences? Obviously, you're looking for that first title still, but these last couple of years, what have you learned from these experiences?
There's a lot to do, and it happens pretty fast. So all the logistics and things like that, and then media requests, and the scouting and trying to get your team ready. So there's a lot of that. But what I've really learned is to try to just keep the guys loose, as you know, they understand, you know, where they're going, what they're playing for is that, but it's all these guys have been in big games, and this is just another big game, and it's not going to define their lives and things like that. So really just trying to keep them loose. Let's have fun. So we've really just kind of been locked in. I mean, we haven't changed anything as far as what we do. We're just prepping for our opponent. And, you know, just trying to keep the guys, you know, this is just our normal routine as much as possible.
Final moment here with St. John's Country Day head coach Tom Lucas, George Gilson. hit a walk-off bomb against North Florida Christian this week to put St. John's in the Final Four. George, this trip that you guys are about to take, you and your teammates, how jacked up are you guys to head down to Fort Myers?
I mean, we're ecstatic. I mean, to be able to keep practicing to the end of the season as much as you can and to finally go back to another Final Four appearance, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, you're going to go play at an extremely big stadium and, in big moments, but we also got to realize that it's just another baseball game. It's just we're playing with our friends and our brothers that we've, grown up and played with. So, like, we can't get too excited over it. Like, we got to stay, like, pretty calm, cool, and collected. But, I mean, it's an awesome moment to experience to go back up there and play at the Final Four and against some great competition again. But I mean, we're all ecstatic, but we're all just calm and just realizing it's just another baseball game.
Somebody's trying to call you. Last thing, and I'll let you go. Coach, what does it mean to you to represent the Jacksonville area in the Final Four? It's going to be you guys. Trinity Christian's going to be down there in 3A, but for St. John's Country Day out of Orange Park, what does it mean for you guys to represent the Jacksonville area in this Final Four?
Quite a bit. I grew up when I played high school baseball here, run one of the travel programs that is made up probably 99% of mostly Northeast Florida kids. And firmly am a believer that some of the best talent, the best baseball is played in Northeast Florida. So it's a tremendous honor. We know when we go down there, we're going to have a lot of, eyes on us and we're representing the 904. That's something we talk about, leaving a legacy. Going down there, we're going to be playing a team that's pretty much playing a home game in their backyard. But it's a tremendous honor to represent the Jacksonville area.
What about for you, George? What does it mean to represent your hometown area down there in Fort Myers?
I mean, it's awesome. There's never been a state title in Clay County, so we want to be the first school to do that. I mean, that'd be awesome to be able to achieve that goal of being that first team to win a state title in Clay County, because I mean, that would never be forgotten, being the number one team to ever do that. So, I mean, it's awesome to be able to represent Clay County and Jacksonville area.
George Gilson, Tom Lucas from St. John's Country Day. They play on Monday morning. Coach, what do you think about that? The early start for you guys, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, we talked about that. I've stressed to them that I want them to start getting up every day at 7 o'clock, because that's what time we're going to get up on Monday.
Yeah.
We're going to practice on Saturday early at the same time of what the game would, when we take pregame down there. But it's the advantage as the 1 seed, you get to play the first game. That way you can stay and watch the 2 and the 3 if you happen to win. So that's why they give you the 10, so you can stay and watch the 1 o'clock game if you're lucky enough to win that first one. And maybe we beat the heat. I mean, Fort Myers this time of year is known for being really, really hot. So we're hoping maybe we can get in and get out before it gets crazy hot.
Hey, all the best to you guys. Really hope you can go get one. Really pulling for you, fired up for you. Congratulations on the year that you've had and continued success down there in Fort Myers, Coach. And George, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, Gibby. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.